Hey guys, welcome to another one of our reviews. I'm the Worm, and this is the Proton. Today we're going to be reviewing a mechanical mod, a UK made mechanical mod. We did receive this free of charge. It won't affect our review in any way, shape or form, never does. I mean, don't know why we say it anymore, but just for the new people that come to our channel, so whatever.
There you go. Right guys, what we're doing today is the Fortune Mods original brass mechanical mod from Fortune Mods. So yeah, that's what that is. No website as of yet guys. Facebook group though will be down here. Basically if you want to order this one guys, you're going to have to create a Google document, which we will again link under the Facebook group, name in the description if you just want to go ahead and fill one of those bad boys out and order it. Price for everything you're going to get is 60 quid to your door. Spot on for that, really is. And a couple of differences to our normal hybrid mechanical style dingle. Basically, as we just said, it's a hybrid style, so you've got a 20/1 threaded hybrid connector for the top. There's no typical top cap 510 adjustable centre pin and all that kind of hoo-ha. You've got a magnetic switch in this, which we'll go into a bit more depth when we can in a second. So yeah, very cool stuff. I think Worm's going to do the close-up of this one, so what we'll do is we'll drop it down into the close-up, do what we usually do, and then come back up to us and flap.
Alright guys, this is the up close of the Fortune's original brass mod, from Fortune Mods obviously. What we got here is the 650 tube. Just give you a show of the logo right there first off. As you can see, my one's number 21 out of 500. There are two sizes made for this, obviously the 350 down here and the 650, 500 of each, so there's only 1,000 of these going to be made. There's the 650, and it's the same on the 350 mode as well. This is just number 93 of 500 as well, but the Fortune mod engraving there is very nicely done. It's a very, obviously a very skilled hand right there, obviously machined anyway, but this is the 650 tube. Obviously at the top you'll notice there's no actual like 510, obviously the button's missing as well at the moment, but this is how you get it all separately apart, and that they all come in their own little baggies so they don't get scratches on and whatever. But this is the tube, and you will get these two buttons when you order them. You'll get a blank one and one with the Fortune's logo on it. Oh, it says Fortune's edition, limited edition, this one. Sorry, so you get a limited edition button and you get a blank button, so you can keep this one nice and fresh at home, no scratches, and keep it nice and clean, and then you can use your blank one for you out and about if you do take it out and that. So it's kind of good you get two buttons there, because obviously brass is quite prone to scratching, so it's going to be easily scratched. And all the people that received this for review got their own tailored buttons as well. Obviously mine's Mr. W, Mr. Proton's got Mr. P. If we just grab that off him, you can see that there because he's actually using his one now, Mr. P. Sweet! So yeah, but the button, literally, to put the button in, you literally go from the where the 510 is going to be, you literally just slop your button in, and it's going to sit down the bottom there, if it will actually fit in.
A shake and it will sort itself.
And it will fit, oh, you can just about see it there, it will just literally fall into place right there. This is because of the magnet, because you're going to get a pack of magnets as well, all different sizes. There's 4 different ones there for different battery configurations.
1.5, 2, 3 and 4.
1.5, 2, 3 and 4. So I've been using my e-cig, so it's this battery here that I use, which is the medium one out of the 3, and they've all just gone away. Obviously be careful guys, these are magnets and they are going to stick to each other, so let's take the medium one off here and get rid of the other ones for a minute. And basically what you do with this one is you get 3 of these little rings here. You want to basically slot this over your battery, over your magnet, sorry, not your battery, and then this goes onto the base of your battery. But you've got to be careful with this, because obviously you want to make sure your reverse polarity to your switch, because you don't want it being magnetised and being constantly on. So you've got to test it, so it's not that way, it's that way. So basically I want to put this end onto my battery like so, and then basically you slop your button back in, and that'll go on top there, and as you can see the battery bounces up and down, which is what you want from a magnet switch. Just going to put that on my table so it doesn't fall over. Next we're going to go on to the 510. Now this is it's a weird 510 configuration, because this is meant to basically sit everything flush mounted. You've got to be careful, because you're going to need one of these every time you put a new atomizer on it. So you do not want to lose this, because you've got a little grub screw just in there, as you can see. And what you need to do is you need to undo this, attach your atomizer to it, make sure where you've done the grub screw, that's going to go on the internal. so just be aware of that. Screw your atomizer on. I'm using my K-fun here, and then you need to tighten this grub screw up, and this will basically lock the flush mount 510 connection Orignal flip thing they got going on to the actual base of the atomizer or tank or whatever you're using. This way, when you're threading it on and off, this will not come loose. I mean, I'm just going to give this a little bit more time because I didn't quite give it enough time. So I'm just giving it a little nudge there. And basically what happens now is you screw this into the top of your mod.
It's just like the RSST hybrid adapter.
Yeah, so you basically get everything that goes on this is going to go hybrid. The thing you've got to be careful with on this mod though is if your 510 from your actual atomizer isn't protruding from the external threads, it's not going to fire on this. And you're going to have massive problems. And you also got to be careful if it's literally touching on both, if it's literally level with the connection down here and they're both in main contact to the battery, it's going to short obviously, and you're going to have massive problems going on your end. So you've got to make sure you've got at least, I mean my K's got about a mil there and it's doing fine. I mean I've been using it for about an hour now on this and I've had no problems. So as long as you've got a mil give or take, you're going to be fine, but just make sure you're not putting anything on here that's going to short out straight away, because a short can cause battery vents and all kinds of stuff. But like, you have got a vent hole on this anyway, right down the back there. It's very nice, very sleek. It's kind of hidden, and they've kind of chamfered that in just slightly, so it's actually like a curvature into it, so it's not sharp or any way. It's literally just, it's very smooth. So but that goes on like so, and that's your mod pretty much put together. I mean, we will be giving away this 350 tube, and you will be getting the battery, but you won't obviously get your own custom battery in this one, switch for this one. You will literally get the limited edition Fortunes and the plain one from there. The people we're giving away will also be getting a little brass drip tip like this.
From Spartan Mods.
From Spartan Mods, that one. So I mean, I've been using it on my K. It's just a shorty drip tip, brass one obviously, but altogether that looks rather sleek if you do ask me. I mean, you have to give it a little kind of screw in motion just because the O-ring on the drip tip is a little bit loose, but give it a little screw in, it actually fits nice and tight when you've actually got it in there. So, but that's pretty much the mod, guys. I mean, other than that, I mean, you have got two vent holes up the top here, just in case it can escape from up here. I mean, it's not going to vent as easy through here as it is through the back here, but they're there anyway to alleviate a little bit of pressure either way. I mean, it's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. So, one of them, guys. But that's pretty much everything on this. I mean, just be careful when you are, if you're out and about and you are switching out batteries, just make sure that battery goes back on the same way, because obviously if you do put it in while you're going along and you put it in the wrong way up, obviously that's going to stick and it's going to be constantly on, and you do not want that happening, because that's going to again lead to issues. So you've got to be very careful when swapping this battery over to another battery. I mean, have I got another battery to hand? I have right there. I mean, just say I'm going to swap it over to MNKE over here. I'd literally just, if you can, just literally push it across, and there we go. Then you know you're safe and you know which way you're going, and that's going to be fine. I mean, I'll chuck it in here now just to watch it go wrong now. But no, it's still the right way, so you're all good. But again, guys, you do get, we've got some spares here as well. So a couple of grub screw spares for the top of the 510. You get two of them, and obviously one in the mod that come, one in the hybrid adapter as standard. So be very careful with these. They're tiny, obviously you don't want to lose them. I mean, if you lose one, you're not going to be too sad because you've got another two. If you lose two, you're going to be a little bit starting getting worried, but you can probably get replacements for them. But that's pretty much everything. I mean, what we're going to be giving away, I'm looking to lay it out for you. I'm going to get rid of my mod. Right there, you're literally going to get this 350 tube, the limited edition button, the plain button, obviously the top, the 4 magnets, and 3 washers, but one of them's still on my battery down there, so with another magnet. So, but that's what you're going to get, and obviously the Allen key when we come to give it away. So hopefully you all have good luck on that. But we're going to come back up to us now and have a little flap. Alright guys, that was the up close of the original brass Fortunes mod from Fortunes Mods. Obviously links will be down there for the Google and the Facebook page, so you can go and have a look at a few pictures and then maybe order one, or if you just know what it's all about already, you can just go and order one straight away. But before we get into our flap, I've got the 650 NEM here, brass as well obviously, but I'm just going to show you the size difference. That's from the bottom. I mean, you're looking here halfway up the cave on there, up to the base of the window in terms of size. So that just shows you how small this is for a 650 mod, and that's why Fortune Mods guys have said they're not doing a 500 mode, basically because there's no point.
No, it's a pointless thing. In 350, well, I'm showing you the 350 up close. I mean, it's ridiculously small, but it really is. I mean, yeah, just to hash over what we said in the close-up, you know, you're going to get, for your 60 quid, you're going to get delivery, you're going to get your tube, you're going to get your 2 buttons, grub screws, washers, magnets, the whole dingle. Alright, in 350 though, I would want to sort of be cautious on what you're using. If you're used to running 350, even this is going to be small for you. I certainly wouldn't put a cave on top of a 350 version of this, purely because it's going to be bigger than your mod. So yeah, I mean, but for a stealth vape, little 350 10 amp E-Fest and a small dripper, this is the Omega on it, you got the iGo W, things like that, that's going to look the bomb on there, and it's also going to be incredibly small. Like, I would lose it small. So, you know, just bear that in mind. Obviously guys, you got your battery preference and that'll be the one you choose to go with, but if you're if you are a 500 user and you're going, why aren't there a 500, because the 650 is the same size, get that. Yeah, basically.
It's not really the same size as the 500, but it's the same to equivalent mods that are 500 mode, basically.
I mean, the PAPs in 500 is the same size as this in 650,
there you go.
So you can't really argue with that at all. What else have we got about it? Firstly, the drip tip on top, guys, if you are wondering what that's about, that's a Spartan Mods, as pointed out in the close-up. You have to go to spartan-mods.co.uk for that, and we'll link that down there as well. It's actually a Fortune tip. There's kind of like an agreement going on there. So if you want that tip, that's awesome source available from Spartan Mods, and they're available in stainless, copper and brass. While we're on the stainless thing, there is a version of this coming in stainless for everyone who keeps asking. That it's been confirmed, spoke to Tim, it's definitely going to happen. It's just a matter of when. As you can imagine, things are busy over at Fortune Mods, but it is coming, so those of you who are stainless hunters, keep on the lookout because it'll definitely be there. As Worm said in the close-up, there's only 500 each of these made in each side, so 1,000 mods in total, and after that it will never be done in brass again. That is it. Like, basically spoke to Tim and he said there's no chance of it happening again, so that is the case. So if you're wanting one, you get one now, otherwise you're probably not going to get one. The second run starting, I believe Tim's named up 100 already, so there's going to be 400 left in each size to get gone. So if you're after one, then obviously now's the time, especially for the price, 60 quid, bang on.
Yeah.
What? Go on.
Yeah, so I was just saying, obviously because there's only 500 of each made, it's kind of one of those ones that once they're gone, you're only going to be able to get them from trades. And let's be honest, this is one of those mods that it's one of the, it's not the first, but it's one of the very few out there that are UK made, and hopefully there'll be more coming out from Fortune Mods and a lot more in the future, sort of thing. But as a first one to get your hands on one of these, they're not going to lose their money, are they? So I mean, if you're just going to take a punt on it, it's not 60 quid wasted, it's 60 quid invested in my eyes, because it's going to hold its price, because once the 500 are gone, it's probably going to go up in price through trades, because you won't be able to get them anywhere else.
There you go. I mean, not just that. They are, I mean, 60 quid isn't a lot of money, I don't think, for this. Alright, this is machined in the UK, this is engraved in the UK, this is designed in the UK, everything about this is UK. You know, and you're paying 60 quid for it. Like, in my eyes, you're getting a bargain, to be honest with you. The top cap, as Worm said, you know, with it being a hybrid adapter, you've got to make sure whatever you're sticking on it is relevant. You have, it's just how it is. You've got to make sure that your positive pin's going to be sticking out, because otherwise your is not going to work. There's another side of that as well with the magnets that come. You've got 1.5, 2, 3 and 4 mil. If you put the 1.5 on your battery and you've got your washer on there and you stick it up and your ATI's all on and it still fires, it means your ATI's at 510 is just too long, so you're not even going to be able to use that ATI with it. So you're going to have to, I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't tried any ATIs that haven't worked with it, but I know that I possess some that wouldn't. And so does Worm, so you know, that's just something else to bear in mind. I think the main one I think of the moment is probably the RSSD. You can probably adjust it so it would fit, but if you screw it down tight like me and him generally do, it's probably going to be one of those Genesis tanks that are going to be a little bit, it's going to be close if it does work at all, at full tightened down sort of thing. So yeah, it is something you've got to look out for, but you know, if you're buying this, you know you've got to put a little bit of work in every time you put a battery in. It's not going to be something that you start off with. If you're looking into a UK made or kind of limited edition kind of mod, you kind of know what you're doing, so you should be able to kind of know what's going to work on it by now. So there you go. One thing Worm did point out, guys, if you are switching between buttons, it's not a guarantee that them buttons are going to be the same polarity as the one you've just taken out before you set that battery in. So check that they're repelling, otherwise you have to flip that magnet over on your button, on your battery, sorry, to make sure that it's not attracting. I mean, to be honest with you, in the event that that was attracting, you still wouldn't have a contact up the top here. So you would still push it, but the button then would have to sort of be shaken back down. So just something to be aware of.
Contact, would you?
No, that's what I'm saying. You would. If your battery was attracted to the button, you could then push it up and make contact. But it's obviously not what it's designed to be done. So just make sure that when you're changing buttons, if you are going to, then that is the case. What else have we got going on? Like I said, a few bits and bobs like extra buttons and stuff. Are they going to be available? Maybe. Alright, there's stuff will be available. I can tell you now that you will never be able to buy replacement tubes for this, and you will never be able to buy the top cap that's the hybrid adapter that's in this. They're just not going to be sold. So, you know, bear that in mind, guys. Don't run it over, basically. But blank buttons and stuff, you get 2 with it, which is spot on, and there may well be more available. Okay. On the buttons, there was a big sort of what bond were they going to use in order to put the magnets in the buttons, and what they've actually gone with is a 2-part epoxy with silver in it, so for better conductivity, and which works, to be honest with you. I mean, we've done some tests on it, and under a 1.5 ohm load we were looking between 1.5 and 1.9 volt drop, which is bloody respectable if you ask me. I don't think there's anything wrong with that whatsoever. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we do a 5-point hit list, guys. We're going to just jump into that now. We'll start off with looks. I mean, if you watched our channel before, you probably know what this is all about. But looks of this mod, I love it. I love all the kind of simplistic, nothing really going on with it. It just works. It is what it is, sort of thing. And this is even less than normal because you've got no like top cap on there, because it's hybrid. It's concealed. The button, I mean, it hasn't got a locking switch, but you know, for looks wise, I think it looks better, and I think it does. The fact that we've got 2 buttons, well, we've got 3, but you can get 2 buttons with it, so you can change it for the limited edition Fortunes or the blank button. Again, that adds to the looks because you can do whatever you want with it. If you prefer the kind of minimalistic, you can go with the blank button. If you want the Fortunes limited edition on there, happy days, you can have that as well. So I'm giving it a 10. I mean, it's outstanding looking. I mean, there's nothing to it, and I think that's what it's elegant, and that's why it's beautiful.
There you go. Looks for me, I mean, brass, I love a bit of brass. I mean, bearing in mind being brass is going to patina. I've been using this for a couple of days and mine's patinaing as we speak, but you know, you get that patinaed look, or you can polish it up, and I quite enjoy doing that, so that's awesome sauce. Engraving's done really well by local engravers to Fortune, you know, father and son business. This is all kind of stuff we like to hear. So other than that, what else we got? I mean, you stick 22mm on top of it. I think I mean, I've used smaller 80s on it, but 22mm is where it really sort of shines, you know. And with this Fortune drip tip in as well, it's an incredibly dinky setup. If I had that in 350, it's just I would lose it. I love the look of it. I really do. I love how small it is. I love the simplicity as well. So the engraving on there is quite a swirly like engraving, which is the Fortune's logo, but you know, it's done in a way that it's not garish, it's not in your face. You look at it and you kind of think, you know, I didn't actually appreciate how much there was going on in there. And then underneath your simple serials, you've got your blank button. If you want that really simplistic look, that's the only thing that's going to be on there, you know. Other than that, you can have your limited edition button, which is always nice to have. And then you've got your venting on the back, which is just a simple 1.5mm hole, slightly countersunk. So, I mean, it's spot on, it really is. For me it's a 10, I think it looks awesome. The fact you haven't got a top cap to contend with, you know, to match up to your mods, because sometimes that can throw it, yeah, even better, 10.
Usability. For a mechanical mod, this is going to be a little bit lower than usual, because you've got those magnets, you've got to pay attention, you've got to stick the magnet to your button and make sure it's the right way up. You've got little bits of dowel, it's like rubber, isn't it?
It's a washer.
Yeah, it's a rubber washer basically. You've got to put around the magnet so to protect your battery a little bit, sort of thing. A little bit more work in this one. But other than that, I mean, the contact is your atomizer, so keep your atomizer base clean when you use it on this. And obviously the magnets, give them a little wash over every now and then. But magnets don't seem to build up as quick as other things, so you won't have to do the magnets as often, but you still got to clean them when they do need it, sort of thing. So, is it easy to use? Yes, it is easy to use. You just got to charge your battery, keep your contacts clean. There's just a little bit of fiddling around when you're changing your battery with polarity of battery and buttons, basically making sure your polarity is all correct and that. So I'm going to give it a 9, but for me it's a 10. So, but it is overall a 9. It's just I don't find it hard. For me, I like tinkering. Sitting here for 2 minutes playing with my little polarities and all that kind of stuff doesn't bother me. But for some people out there, it's not going to be like an easy kind of, especially when you're out and about, chop and change, and that's why it's getting a 9.
For me, usability, I mean, there are things to take into account in comparison to a standard mod, you know. Your hybrid adapter, you're going to have the Allen key on you if you wanted to take that deck off. I mean, the Allen key is an Allen key. You can, if you lose it, guys, it's not going to be the end of the world. Pound Shop will sell you another Allen key. Attaching the magnet to the battery and then obviously sticking it all in. Personally, I don't think that's hard to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, sticking the washer on the magnet can be a bit of a like, and then you run your fingers around again just to make sure it's all on there. But I mean, Tim did say he ordered in a load and they were slightly looser. The problem with them being easier going on is they're easier coming off, and therefore you weren't getting as good a sort of system because of it, because it was falling off inside the mod and therefore preventing your mod from firing. So, you know, you stick it on and jobs are good, and most of us will have similar batteries, okay? So when it comes to changing batteries, stick them side by side and slide it over. You know, that initial sort of sticking that initial washer on the magnet is the hardest bit, and that's a piece of piss, to be honest with you. I don't think it's unusable at all. I think it's very usable. I think it's a 10. You just got to use the relevant atties on it, you know, and you've got to make sure that setup's what you want. If you want to chop and change atties 10 times a day, then you need an Allen key. That's how it is. But if you're one of these guys that sets it up and takes it with you, then no different to any other mod, to be honest with you. You know, the Qi, your double adjusting and all that kind of hoo-ha. So I'm going to give it a 10, to be honest with you. I think it's pretty damn usable. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all.
It was just more than 9 for when you're out and about.
Yeah, I suppose, but I mean,
it's just something you've got to live with. You know, after watching a review and maybe watching the reviews on the actual Fortunes Mods page, you'll know kind of what's going on anyway. But maintenance, there's not really much to maintain in this. There's you've got magnets, you've got no springs, you've got no real 510 to like kind of adjust or anything. You've literally got to make sure the bottom of your atomizer is cleaned, your battery's charged, and your magnets are the right way up. I mean, if you're like us and you like to polish your mod up, it's still not a problem. You do that because you want to. It's not really a maintenance thing. You do it because you want it to look shiny again. It's not going to what's the word? Impact. So that's the word. Impact the performance of the device. So maintenance. This is a 10. Is easy to maintain. The magnets generally don't need to be cleaned as often as other kind of materials like silver, brass, or any other conductive. Magnets seem to hold up a little bit longer. So yeah, it's not very often you're going to have to clean it, but you're going to have to clean it at some point. So 10.
Maintenance for me is a mechanical mod, chuck a battery in and you're away, aren't you? There's nothing to maintain. If you want to polish it, polish it. If you don't, then don't. It's as simple as that. For me, maintenance is a 10.
Build quality and price. The build quality is outstanding. I mean, there's so little to go wrong in this. I mean, the only thing that may go wrong is you may lose the magnet that's perfect for your battery size. That's pretty much the only thing that I think is going to be the problem with that in terms of, but that's nothing compared to build quality. That's just you're losing something. So I mean, the build quality on this, everything is snug. There is only one thread in, and that's at the top with your hybrid adapter. That thread's in lovely. No problems with that at all. 10 for build quality. For price, 60 quid for a UK made limited edition mod. You've got to be mad not to think this is good for money. Good value for money. I mean, there's other mechanical mods out there that rough price range is like 40 to 60 quid. This is 60 quid, and that's for like mass produced items. This is a limited edition. Price is a 10 for what you're getting.
Build quality and price for me. Build quality, there's nothing with it I can really pick up on that's a problem. There's no issues at all with this. Threads are bang on, the engraving's spot on. Other than that, it's a tube really, and you've got a button that isn't really, it's just a button, it's not even a switch that there could be internal problems with. You're relying on the magnets doing the work for you, and they're not going to fade out. So build quality for me is a 10 for sure. Price, 60 quid delivered with all the extra bits and doodahs and whatever else for a mod that's ridiculously small. I mean, 4.9 is still bigger than this. I think the price is outstanding. I don't just think it's good, I think it's outstanding. 60 quid, all the hoo-has, delivered to your door. You can't get a mod like this for that money. You just can't. I mean, basically, Tim, who is Fortune Mods, Mr. Fortune Mod. He wanted a mod to suit him. Okay, that's where the design for this come from. He also doesn't mind clones, alright, and he likes the real deal, but appreciates not everyone can get that real deal. We had a conversation on Skype a while ago, about an hour long we was talking, and he said to me then he wanted to produce something that people could buy, you know. I mean, granted this is a limited edition, but people could buy a mod that's a legitimate mod for what price should be paid for this kind of stuff, in our opinion. Anyway, I mean, I wouldn't have imagined that they're making loads of money on these, to be honest with you. This is kind of their flagship, if you like, the original brass. But 10. It's a 10. It's all UK. I love that. You know, compare it to a lot of other mods that are out there. If he was holding a Nemesis right now, I'd be asking him if he still thought he had good value for money on that Nem, put it that way. So yeah, do you still think your Nemesis is good value? I don't. 10.
Overall, there is one thing that does niggle me with this mod, and one thing only, is the serial number is under the Fortune logo. I would have preferred it to be under the vent hole on the back. That is the only problem I have with it. I mean, it's not even that big of a problem. It's just that that's what I would have preferred it to be, kind of at the back, not protruding the logo in any way, shape or form, and then everything would look lovely. I mean, the seal will be right at the bottom, kind of out of his way. It's going to be covered by your finger 99% of the time. That is the only pretty much flaw I can find with this mod, and if that's the only flaw you can find is that you prefer the serial in another place, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, is there? I mean, overall it's a 10. I mean, how can you give it anything else? It's excellent value for money, it's well made. Yes, you are going to have a few problems with certain atomizers, but it works my K-Fun, and that's pretty much my go-to vape, so lovely.
Done?
Yeah.
Overall for me, it's a 10. There's no ifs, ands or buts. It hits hard, it looks awesome, it's lovely and small in any configuration you run it on. In 6, I've always been a fan of the 500 size, but I've always been a fan of having that 30 amp, 35 amp kick from them 650s. I get that, both, you know, best of both worlds in this mod, and I love that. It's made really well, it feels solid as hell. I love it, I do. I think it's an awesome mod, I really do. I think it's an awesome source, and for the price, I think it's a stunner. Yeah, so overall for me is a 10. A few more things we do want to hash over. If you are looking at this, guys, and you're thinking you're going to buy a load of them, you're not. You can order one in each size. That's your maximum. If you order multiple orders, your orders will probably be cancelled. Alright, it's in order to reduce and stop flipping and making these out to be, you know what I mean, doubling the price just because they're no longer available. That's what happens with limited edition mods. I mean, has it got its flaws? I mean,
No.
no. The only flaw I can think of is that it has got no locking ring. Alright, now it sits flush, so it's not a problem. Last 2 days I've been out and about. I've here, there and everywhere, popped into my old work and God knows what else. You know, your standard everyday stuff, pop down the shops, all that kind of hoo-ha. I slide this in my pocket without an ego case and a bottle of juice because I'm dripping, and I've had no issues whatsoever. None. Alright, if that magnet was to flip and drop, you're still not going to have any issues because it's not making contact, because it'll be sitting off of the atomizer. The fact you've got your 20-1 hybrid connector, that can actually be used in other devices. Alright, this is not the only device that's threaded like this. Okay, so that can be used in other devices, meaning it's kind of versatility across there. You can't buy that, you know, and the reason for that, I'd imagine, is because people are just going to buy that and adapt it, you know, do what they want to do with it and mug them off basically. But other than that, overall, no, definitely a 10 for me. One more thing, in the Fortunes mod, if you are looking at this, guys, click the link to their group, like their group, and get onto the files that are in their group. There's loads and loads of info on there. There's a big thread that's been started about which atomizers will and will not work with this mod. So, you know, if since last time I checked, this one on it, but if it is, then your Omega, that'll work on there as well. But anything really, look at your 510. If it sticks out a bit, then you're away, you're laughing, you know, that'll work, no problem whatsoever. So
one last thing before we do go, guys. Obviously you saw in the close-up there was the 350 tube that we're going to be giving away. Thank you very much, Tim and the guys at Fortune Mods, for that as well. So but this is going to be given away tomorrow in our live event. So if you're looking to win a 350 Fortune Mod limited edition mod, it will be given away tomorrow with another giveaway as well. So that
would also have the Fortune drip tip in it as well from Spartan Mods. So that's that whole giveaway. You're getting everything in that for the 350 mode. If that's what you want, if you want to enter it, then definitely do that. I can tell you now though that it's probably going to involve something to do with our Facebook group. So join that as well, guys, in anticipation, because I imagine that's where all of our comments happen when we're doing our live stuff. So yeah, guys, if you want a chance to win that fortune, then that's where you're going to want to be. And obviously, as Worm said, big thank you to the guys at Fortune Mods for sending us not just these mods to ourselves, but also one to give away to you guys.
Plus the customised button for each of us. I mean,
Awesome.
can you ask for more? I mean, I know the other guys are reviewing it, got one as well, and I'm quite sure they're just as thankful. It's just a nice little touch for doing a review, I suppose, and we're thankful for sending it to us anyway.
Indeed.
We've been happy without that button, to be honest. So
Tim did say serials 11 through 20 of each size are being kept back, and they are going to be given away by Fortune as well. So there's yet more giving away happening there, and the mod's only 60 quid in the first place. I really don't know what they're doing in terms of making money, but I look forward to seeing what's coming a lot from this company, because there aren't many companies out there that I think, you know what, they're ticking every box. You know, you make this in Greece and you're paying 3 times the price for it, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my final thought on that. Definitely
I think we're done.
wicked. I think we are done, yeah. Right, guys, thank you to the guys at Fortune Mods. Thank you guys for watching, and obviously I've been Mr. Proton. This has been the Worm. See you soon.